Have you ever woken up in the morning and asked yourself, why am I doing this? That's how I felt for a long time. I wanted to learn English, but I didn't know where to begin. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have motivation. I just knew one thing. I wanted to speak English well. I wanted to understand movies, read English books, and talk to people from other countries. I had a dream, but I didn't know how to make it real. Every day felt the same. I would wake up, look at my English books, and feel tired before I even started. I watched YouTube videos, but I didn't understand much. I tried reading simple texts, but I got bored. I tried writing, but I made too many mistakes. Sometimes I asked myself, can I really learn this language? Am I good enough? I started to feel lost. My confidence went down. I felt small. I thought maybe English was only for smart people or people who lived in English-speaking countries. I compared myself to others. I saw people speaking English fluently, and I felt sad. I thought, they are lucky. I can never be like them. I stopped believing in myself. I wanted to give up many times. I didn't see any progress. My mind was full of doubts. I didn't know that my biggest problem was not my grammar or my vocabulary. It was my mindset. I was learning without a clear reason. I was studying without purpose. That was the truth. I was waking up every day without a goal. I had no energy because I had no vision. I was just going through the motions, not really moving forward. I was alive, but I didn't feel excited. I didn't feel proud. I didn't feel strong. I needed something more than books and lessons. I needed a reason to wake up. I needed something to push me forward. I needed purpose. And everything began to change the day I understood that learning English is not just about words. It's about the why behind those words. It's about the dream, the purpose, and the feeling of pride you get when you finally say, yes, I did it today. One day, something inside me changed. It was a small moment, but it changed everything. I was sitting in my room, thinking about my life, thinking about my future, and I asked myself a very important question. What kind of person do I want to be? I didn't want to feel weak anymore. I didn't want to feel lost. I didn't want to wake up every morning without a reason. I wanted to change my life, and I knew I had to start with one thing: my English. That day, I made a new decision. I said to myself, from today, I will wake up with a purpose. My purpose is simple. I will learn English every single day. I didn't want to wait for the perfect time. I didn't want to wait for motivation. I didn't want to wait for someone to help me. I wanted to take control of my journey. I wanted to grow step by step, one day at a time. So I sat down with a notebook and made a simple plan. I didn't write a big schedule. I didn't fill pages with complicated goals. I just made a small, clear promise to myself. Every morning, I will study English for 30 minutes. Every evening, I will practice speaking, just a little, even if I talk to myself. That's it. That was my plan. Nothing big, nothing difficult. Just 2 small steps every day. At first, it felt strange. I wasn't used to having a plan. I wasn't used to waking up with a goal. But when I started doing it, something changed. I set my alarm 30 minutes earlier. I woke up, brushed my teeth, sat down with my English book, and studied. Sometimes I listened to a short podcast. Sometimes I read 1 or 2 pages from a story. Sometimes I wrote simple sentences in my notebook. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. In the evening, I practiced speaking. I opened the front camera on my phone and talked to myself in English. I described my day. I said what I did in the morning, what I ate for lunch, how I was feeling. Sometimes I made mistakes, but I didn't stop. I didn't laugh at myself. I didn't give up. I just kept talking, slowly and clearly. I remembered my purpose. I remembered the promise I made to myself. This simple routine became part of my life. It was no longer about just learning English. It was about building discipline. It was about training my mind to stay focused. It was about proving to myself that I could do something every single day. The more I followed the plan, the stronger I felt. I started to look forward to the mornings. I began to enjoy my evening practice. I saw small changes in my English and big changes in my confidence. Making that decision, to wake up with a purpose, was the best thing I ever did. It gave me power. It gave me clarity. It made me feel alive. I didn't need to study for hours. I didn't need to join a special course. I just needed a decision, a purpose, and a simple plan. And you can do the same. You don't need to do everything in one day. You don't need to be perfect. Just wake up each morning and say, "Today, I will learn a little English." Then do it. In the evening, say, "Now I will practice speaking, even if it's only for 5 minutes." That's how it starts. That's how everything changes. That's how you go from feeling lost to feeling proud. Every day now begins in a new way. No more waking up late. No more staying in bed for hours, staring at the ceiling, feeling confused. Now, I wake up with energy. I open my eyes and remember my promise. I remind myself, today, I have a purpose. Today, I will learn English. That one thought gives me strength. It gives me direction. I am not the same person I was before. The first thing I do in the morning is smile and take a deep breath. I say, "Thank you for this new day. I will use it well." Then I get up, brush my teeth, and drink a glass of water. After that, I find a quiet place. I take my English notebook, a pen, and sit down. My phone is silent. My mind is calm. This is my time, my English time. I open a book with short English stories. The words are simple, but the meaning is deep. I read slowly. I don't rush. I focus on every word, every sentence. If I see a new word, I write it down in my notebook. I write the meaning next to it, and sometimes I make a sentence with that word. I read the story again, this time out loud. My voice is not perfect, but I speak with confidence. I read like I believe in myself. After reading, I listen. I choose a small English podcast, something about life or motivation, or maybe just a story. I close my eyes and listen carefully. I try to understand every word. If I don't understand something, I don't panic. I just replay it. I listen again. I listen slowly. I tell myself, it's okay. I am learning. I am growing. My goal is not to be perfect. My goal is to improve, bit by bit, day by day. Next, I do some writing. I take my notebook again and write a short paragraph about my morning. I write what I did, how I feel, and what I want to do today. I don't worry about mistakes. I just write. Then I read it out loud. I correct small errors. I enjoy the process. I am proud of myself because I am using my English in real life. This routine, reading, listening, writing, takes only 30 minutes, but it feels powerful. It feels like I am building something strong. I feel my English growing like a tree. I know the roots are deep now. I know the branches will grow higher soon. This is not just study. This is transformation. Throughout the day, I keep my mind positive. I repeat simple English phrases in my head. I look around me and name things in English. This is a book. That is a chair. I am walking. The sky is blue. I talk to myself quietly when I'm alone. I try to think in English. This keeps me connected to my goal. It keeps me focused. Even if my day is busy, I don't skip my practice. In the evening, I come back to English. I look in the mirror and speak. I talk about my day. Today, I studied English. I read a short story. I learned 5 new words. I listened to a podcast. I feel happy. I feel strong. I say these sentences again and again. They are simple, but they are real. They are my proof. I am doing it. Some days are harder than others. Sometimes I feel tired. Sometimes I feel like skipping my routine. But then I remember, this is my purpose. This is my promise to myself. This is my path to the life I want. So I keep going. I stay positive. I don't stop. The best part is this. Every time I finish my English routine, I feel proud. I feel like a winner. I didn't waste my time. I didn't waste my day. I used it well. I learned something. I grew stronger. And that feeling gives me power for the next day. This is my daily routine with purpose. It's simple, it's small, but it's powerful. And every day, it takes me closer to my dream. There were days when everything felt easy. I woke up, did my English routine, felt proud, and smiled at my progress. On those days, learning felt fun. It felt exciting. But then, there were other days, hard days, tiring days, busy days, days when my body was weak and my mind was full of stress. On those days, English felt heavy. I didn't feel like reading. I didn't want to listen or write or speak. I just wanted to rest, or maybe do something easier. Maybe scroll my phone. Maybe watch funny videos. Maybe sleep longer. One morning, I woke up late. My alarm rang, but I didn't get up. I turned it off and said, just 5 more minutes. Those 5 minutes became 30 minutes. When I finally opened my eyes again, I felt lazy. My plan was broken. I looked at my English notebook, still sitting on the table. It was calling me, but I ignored it. I got dressed, left the house quickly, and told myself, it's okay. I will study later. But deep inside, I knew the truth. I had started to lose my rhythm. That day, I didn't do my English practice. And the worst part? I didn't feel proud that night. I felt like I had broken a promise to myself. Another time, I had so much work. My day was full of responsibilities. I was tired, mentally and physically. My head was full of problems. Family problems, work problems, life problems. English felt like just one more thing to worry about. I said to myself, today is too hard. I'll skip just this once. But skipping became easy. The next day, the same thing happened. I'm tired. I'll do it tomorrow. Then one day became 2 days. 2 days became 3. I felt myself slipping backward. My energy was low. My focus was lost. But then, I stopped. I took a deep breath. I looked at my old notes, the new words I had learned, the stories I had read, the small paragraphs I had written. I remembered how I felt when I spoke English to myself in the mirror and smiled. I remembered my dream, to speak English fluently, to understand movies, to meet people from different countries, to grow my confidence, to feel strong and proud. I remembered my purpose. I said to myself, no, I will not give up. This is part of the journey. This is the test. I understood something very important that day. Success is not about never feeling tired. It's not about being perfect. It's about trying again and again, even when you're tired. It's about standing up after you fall. That moment became a turning point. So I made a new rule for myself. Even if I'm tired, I will do at least one small thing in English. Even if I don't have 30 minutes, I will do 5 minutes. I will read one paragraph. I will write 3 sentences. I will listen to a podcast for 5 minutes. I will say one thing in English before I sleep. I will not break the chain. I will keep going, no matter what. And this new mindset helped me so much. One evening, after a very long day, I was completely exhausted. My eyes were heavy. My back was hurting. But I still sat down with my notebook. I opened it, wrote just 4 lines about my day, read them aloud, and closed the book. It only took 7 minutes. But after I did it, I smiled. I felt proud again. I didn't give up. I showed up. I was stronger than my excuses. Some days, I made mistakes. I forgot words. I said something wrong. I got confused while listening to a podcast. But I told myself, mistakes mean learning. Mistakes mean you are trying. Be proud of your effort. Slowly, I stopped being afraid of errors. I stopped being shy. I started feeling brave. I was no longer chasing perfect English. I was chasing consistent effort. Sometimes, people around me didn't understand. They asked, "Why are you working so hard on English? Is it really that important?" Some even laughed. But I didn't let their words stop me. I smiled and said, "Yes, it is important to me. It is my dream, and I will follow it, no matter what." There were also moments when I saw others learning faster than me. Some people learned new words quickly. Some could speak fluently in just a few months. I felt slow. I felt like maybe I was behind. But then I told myself, this is not a race. Everyone has their own speed. My journey is mine, and I will walk it proudly, at my own pace. That thought gave me peace. One day I was feeling very low. I was questioning everything. I felt like I had no progress. I looked at myself in the mirror and said, "Am I really improving?" I didn't feel confident. But then, I opened a page from a book I had read 3 months earlier. I read it again, and I understood it so much better. I saw how many words I already knew. I realized how far I had come. In that moment, I smiled, with tears in my eyes. I had improved. I was just too busy looking at the mountain to see how many steps I had already climbed. That night, I wrote something in my notebook. Progress is not always visible, but if you keep going, you will always move forward. And I read it every time I felt tired or sad. Some mornings I still wake up and feel lazy. Some evenings I still feel busy. But I don't let those feelings control me anymore. I tell myself, your dream is bigger than your tiredness. Your purpose is stronger than your excuses. And I move. I read. I write. I listen. I speak. And every time I do, I feel proud. I also started using small tricks to stay motivated. I put small English quotes on my wall. I wrote, "Wake up with purpose," and "Keep going." I added sticky notes around my room with words like focus, believe, practice, and never give up. Every time I saw them, I smiled. These small things gave me power. I made a list of reasons why I wanted to learn English, to travel the world, to meet new people, to watch movies without subtitles, to read great books, to get a better job, to feel confident when I speak, to grow as a person. And I read that list often, especially when I didn't feel strong. Over time, effort became a habit. It became part of who I am. I no longer ask, should I study English today? I just do it, like brushing my teeth, like eating food. It became something normal, something that gives me life. I learned that the journey is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Every small effort adds up. Every word I learn, every sentence I speak, every mistake I make brings me closer to my goal. I now know that challenges are not the enemy. Challenges are the gym for the mind. They make me stronger. They test my discipline. They shape my future. So now, when I feel tired, I don't stop. I slow down, but I continue. I whisper to myself, one more word, one more sentence, one more minute. And at the end of the day, when I close my notebook and turn off my light, I smile. I say, I kept going. I didn't give up. I followed my purpose. I made progress. And then I go to sleep with pride in my heart. At the end of every day, something beautiful happened, something small but powerful. After all the busy hours, after the work and the tiredness, after all the problems life threw at me, I looked back and saw one thing that made me feel proud. I completed my English goal for the day. Sometimes the goal was big. I finished an English lesson, wrote a full paragraph, or listened to a podcast and understood most of it. Other times the goal was small. I only had time for 5 minutes. Maybe I just read a few sentences or learned 2 new words. But no matter how big or small it was, it always made me smile. Why? Because I didn't skip. I didn't say, maybe tomorrow. I showed up. I kept my promise. I did my part. And that made me feel proud inside. Quietly. Deeply. Beautifully proud. Every night, I had a little habit. After finishing my English task, I would sit for a moment in silence. I would close my notebook, take a deep breath, and think, well done. Those 2 simple words, well done, were not just words. They were fuel. They were light. They were a reminder that I was not stuck. I was growing, step by step. Many nights, I was tired. My body wanted to rest. My eyes were heavy, but my heart felt light. Why? Because I knew that I had used my time with purpose. I had not wasted the day. Even if my day had problems, even if things didn't go as planned, I still did something good for myself. I still worked on my dream. That's when I started realizing something important. Peace comes from progress. It doesn't come from sitting all day or doing nothing. It comes from knowing that you did something useful. You learned. You tried. You moved forward, even if the step was small. Sometimes I would open my notebook and look at everything I had written in the past days and weeks. I saw new words, short stories, grammar notes, and even small mistakes I had corrected. And I smiled. All of this was mine. All of this was the result of showing up every day, even when I didn't feel like it. I felt like a builder who was making a house, one brick at a time. Each day was a new brick. And now, my house had strong walls. It wasn't finished yet, but it was growing. I didn't need anyone else to tell me, good job. I didn't need applause. I didn't need a certificate. The feeling in my heart was enough. That silent pride at night became my reward. It felt better than likes or comments or praise. It was real. It was personal. There was one night I remember clearly. It had been a difficult day. I was emotionally drained. I didn't want to do anything. But I remembered my rule. Just 5 minutes, even on hard days. So I opened a short story in English and read 2 paragraphs. That's it. Just 2. When I finished, I put my phone down, closed my eyes, and felt tears coming. Not because I was sad, but because I kept my promise. I didn't break my chain, and that made me feel strong. That's the power of small steps. They create big pride. Other nights, I had energy. I did more. I read a full chapter. I watched a full episode of an English show and took notes. I practiced speaking with myself in the mirror and corrected my pronunciation. On those nights, the pride was even greater. I felt like I had climbed a mountain. I felt powerful, like I could do anything. And here's the beautiful part. Every night, after doing my English, I slept better. My mind was peaceful. My heart was quiet. I didn't feel guilt. I didn't feel regret. I didn't say, I should have studied, because I already did. And that peace helped me sleep with a smile. I started to notice something else, too. When I felt proud at night, I woke up stronger the next day. My mornings became easier because my nights ended with success. That's the secret. A proud night builds a powerful morning. It became a cycle. I did my English practice in the evening. I felt proud. I went to bed with joy. I woke up feeling motivated. I studied again in the morning. I repeated this routine every day. And slowly, my English improved. But more than that, my confidence improved. My discipline improved. My belief in myself improved. There were nights I wanted to skip. I was watching a movie or scrolling through my phone. The time was 10 p.m., then 10:30, then 11. But something inside me whispered, do it now, just 5 minutes. And when I listened to that voice and did the work, I felt like a winner. I wasn't controlled by laziness or excuses. I was in control. And that made me proud. I also wrote small reflections before bed. Just a few sentences. Things like, I studied today. I'm proud. I didn't give up, even though I was tired. Every word I learn takes me closer to my goal. My English is not perfect, but it is better than yesterday. I believe in myself. These short lines gave me power. They became like little seeds that grew inside my heart. Some nights, I listened to English before sleeping. I chose a soft podcast or an English story. As I lay in bed, I listened to the sounds, the rhythm, the new vocabulary. I didn't understand everything, but that was okay. I was still learning, still growing, still moving forward. I also created a little evening ritual. After my English session, I would smile at myself in the mirror and say, "Good job. I'm proud of you." It felt silly at first, but then it started to feel natural. And that small moment made a big difference. Because when you speak kindly to yourself, you become your own cheerleader. And when you believe in yourself, nothing can stop you. With time, this feeling of pride became a habit. I looked forward to it every night. I wanted it. I earned it. I protected it. And even if my day was not perfect, even if I didn't finish all my tasks or had a bad moment, I still had this one thing, my English practice. It gave my day meaning. It gave my night peace. And slowly, this pride started to spread into other areas of my life. I became more confident in conversations. I asked more questions. I started writing better. I felt less afraid. Why? Because every night I was building trust in myself. Trust that I would show up. Trust that I would do the work. Trust that I could grow, one day at a time. Now I understand something deep. True pride is not loud. It's quiet. It lives in your heart. It whispers at night, "You did your best today." And that whisper is worth more than gold. So if you are walking your English journey, if you are trying every day, I want you to know, your effort matters. Your small steps are big victories. And every night you complete your goal, no matter how simple it is, you are becoming stronger. You are becoming better. You are becoming proud of who you are. Go to sleep with that pride. Let it hold you like a blanket. Let it fill your dreams. Let it carry you into tomorrow. And when the morning comes, wake up with purpose. Because you, my friend, as the story comes to an end, I want to leave you with a simple message, something that can guide you, not just today, but every day. It's a message that has made a huge difference in my own life, and I believe it will help you too. It all starts with a decision to wake up with purpose, a decision to choose what you want for your future. And yes, that includes your English learning journey. It's easy to wake up and go through the motions, to let the day slip by without doing anything important. But when you wake up with purpose, when you wake up knowing exactly what you want to achieve, no matter how small it is, you are already on the right path. Every day, you have an opportunity to improve, to grow, to become better. Every small effort you make counts. You might not see the results immediately, but I promise you, they are there. They are building inside you, quietly, day by day. They are creating a stronger, more confident version of you. Remember, it's not about doing everything at once. It's not about studying for hours or being perfect. It's about consistency. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about those little moments where you decide, today, I will give just 10 minutes. I will practice just one sentence. Those small moments build up over time and become big victories. Every time you make that choice, you feel a little more proud of yourself. And that pride doesn't fade. It stays with you, growing stronger each day. It helps you to keep going, even when things get tough, even when life gets busy, even when you feel like giving up. That pride reminds you that you are doing something important. You are taking control of your future. And what's amazing is that as you keep going, as you work every day, you begin to see the results. You start understanding English better. You start speaking more clearly. You start reading faster. You can watch movies in English without turning on subtitles. You can write better. And you can think in English. You become a better version of yourself, not just in English, but in everything. But more importantly, you become proud of yourself. You look back and see how far you've come, and you realize something powerful. You didn't just learn a language. You learned the power of consistency. You learned the power of showing up every day. You learned the power of not giving up on yourself. I want you to remember this. Small steps lead to big results. Your dream may seem far away now, but if you keep going, you will reach it. You will look back one day and be amazed at how much you've accomplished. Every step you take is a step towards that dream. Every word you learn, every sentence you speak, every hour you practice, that's progress. And that progress matters. The truth is, life is full of challenges. You will get tired. You will face difficult days. You might even feel like giving up. But remember, you have the power to keep going. You have the strength to push through the hard days. You have the determination to make your dreams a reality. If you keep waking up with purpose, if you keep putting in the work, you will see the change. And that change will fill you with pride. The key is to keep showing up. Whether it's 5 minutes of study or a full hour, don't stop. Don't let a single day go by without taking action. Don't let excuses control you. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. You can do this. You already are doing it. And with every day, you are getting closer to your goal. You can feel proud every single night. You can go to bed knowing that you did your best, that you worked towards your dream, and you can wake up each day knowing that today is another chance to move forward, another chance to be better. So here's my message to you. Wake up with purpose. Work every day, even if it's just a little. And at the end of each day, feel proud. That pride will keep you going. That pride will make your dreams come true. It will help you grow, not just in English, but in every part of your life. If you take this journey seriously, if you make it your goal to improve every day, you will be amazed at how far you can go. You'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. And one day, you will look back and say, I did it. I made it. I kept going. And now, I speak English confidently. So, no matter where you are now, no matter how difficult it seems, know this: you are already on the right path. Keep waking up with purpose, keep working, and most importantly, keep being proud of yourself. Because every day you do, you are becoming the person you want to be. Thank you for listening. I believe in you. You've got this.